everybody. We are with Golden Krishna. Hi Golden, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Fine, and thank you. You were here for a presentation about your book. What can you tell us about your book?
So I came to talk about The Best Interface is No Interface, which is a book I wrote about trying to create screenless experiences. So a lot of designers focus and on the screen, and a lot of us live on screens. And so I wrote this book about how we can think beyond the rectangle.
Okay, and it's a big shift in the process of designing. What is your advice for a person who wants to go with this type of process?
Well, obviously there's a lot of information in the book, but there's three core principles. The idea, embrace typical processes over screens is the first principle, probably the easiest thing to start going down, where you look at someone's experience with a product or service, and then try to find a way to cut out as many screens as you can, to try to let someone go through an experience the most natural way possible, either utilizing sensors or radios or other kinds of indicators to cut down the amount of screen time.
And you work for Android, right?
Yes, that's true.
How do you apply this type of process in your work?
I think we utilize a lot of great user research, a lot of good statistical information, understanding how people are using things today, and those insights can lead to all sorts of discoveries about how to rethink a particular product.
Okay, and you wrote the book I think a year ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
How did it change your life?
I first wrote the blog post way back in 2012, and at that time I was doing a lot of writing, and every time I would write something, I tried to make it a little more crazy than the previous piece.
That's perfect.
And then when I wrote Best Interface is No Interface, I actually reread the Futurist Manifesto, which is a very old art piece about how all the current art movement is crap. And then I tried to even borrow some of the language in the Best Interface is No Interface blog post. And I wrote this really crazy piece, and I thought no one would care about it. And I hate to look at little metrics like how many Twitter shares and whatnot it gets, but this piece got something like 3,000 shares in a matter of 2 days. So a lot of people were paying attention to it. All of a sudden I had all these job interviews. It was kind of crazy. And then over time, after I gave a talk about it, I eventually wrote a book about it, and this is really sort of evolved in a pretty interesting way. Yeah.
So it was really a turning point for you.
Yes, I think so, and a lot of people don't really write as much today. We were talking earlier about how designers will focus on their dribble portfolio or other little components to try to get them, advance their careers. But for me, writing has been a big part of it. And writing blog posts, writing a book, going out and speaking about it have been really nice ways to question what's going on in the field. And that critical thinking I find largely lacking in the design field. Not a lot of people are questioning what we're doing. A lot of people are just looking for what are the common patterns, or what are the best practices, and they're looking for averages and answers, and they're not looking really to try to push the whole field forward, which I think is a really important practice.
And do you think it's your big advice for the next generation of UX designer?
Well, I don't have just one piece of advice, but I will say, I once got a chance to go. Sometimes, actually, I've done this a couple times. There's an art school in San Francisco called CCA, and the first time I went to go guest lecture, they asked me about their work, and a student said, "What do you think about this?" And I said, somewhat jokingly, but also seriously, I said, "Well, it's not good enough now, and it never will be. You need to understand that. You need to understand that it isn't there. That you're never really going to have enough time to get it there either.
Okay.
All work is never really complete. There's always ways to make everything better." That was a little crazy to say at the start of the class, but I think this earning, this desire, knowing that you can always make anything better. You can make anything massively better if you really spend the time to do it.
You have a lots of advice in
Yeah.
You're top three.
I'd say push yourself all the time, just like I was describing. Trying to make your work better. Try to find good mentors around you. The people around you are going to teach you a lot. If you are a smart person in an area where people aren't critically thinking, your brain is going to start melting. So be around good people. And then I'd say, so be aggressive about the things that you want to accomplish in your career. If you think that something like virtual reality is fascinating, set yourself up to get into a position like that. Those are 3 bits. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
And if some people wants to reach you or follow you, where they can do that?
Well, I won't give you my phone number, but I will say they can go to nointerface.com to read to find out more about the book. They can follow me on Twitter, Golden Krishna. But I will give my email address if anyone wants to email on golden.krishna@gmail.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yes. Yes.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
Yes. Yeah. Great. Yes.